Cheers, everyone. Thank you for joining me. I am Dave Brown, and this is the new populist. It looks like Uganda has the attention of the entire world. Their parliament just passed a new anti-homosexuality bill that would have very harsh penalties for anybody engaging or promoting homosexuality. Now, let me say from the start, I do not agree with this. I'm generally libertarian when it comes to matters of sexuality. If you are an adult, you do what you want to do, I'll do me, and we all can leave each other alone. But that being said, I do think we in the West, particularly in the United States, we do live in a glass house and we do throw very big stones. And what do I mean by that? Well, back in 2012, in Maryland, where I'm from, we legalized gay marriage, and I didn't really care that much. And to be honest, after it was passed, I couldn't think of any way that the passing of this bill affected my life. So I said, who cares? You want to get married? Go ahead. No big deal. But then a few years later, I turned on my TV. I turned on ABC, which is a networked station in the United States. And on one of our biggest morning shows, there was a 10-year-old drag boy. And I'm scratching my head going, wait a second, what's going on here? Fast forward a few more years. Now we have on National Geographic the cover. We have a 9-year-old transgender. We have drag shows for children now, all ages drag shows, with men wearing, I can only describe as bikinis or something like that, dancing in a very sexual manner with young children in the crowd. So in just 10 short years, we went from legalizing gay marriage to grown men in drag dancing for children, and children being given hormones to stop their puberty because they are transgender. Now, if you're living in Africa or anywhere else, you might look at the United States and go, you guys are out of control. Maybe Uganda should put sanctions on the United States for our behavior. But it's the other way around. The United States, we just announced that we're thinking about putting economic sanctions on Uganda for this bill. And we give $950 million in aid to Uganda. Most of it is for health reasons, health stuff, HIV. And the question is, are we, America, showing ourselves to be the better person by taking away something that is saving lives? So we're criticizing Uganda for this bill that we disagree with, and we're going to retaliate by taking away life-saving aid. Does that really make us the better person or give us the moral high ground? And I don't think so. And again, I do not like this bill, but every country has its myriad of flaws. Every country, the United States included. And what's happening now as well, China and Russia, they're in contact with Uganda saying, hey, we're not here to judge you guys. We would love to have a partnership with you. And there are other African countries who are much more conservative than the United States who are going, well, if the United States is going to put sanctions on us, economically punish us for having our own ideas for how our society should function, then maybe we should go elsewhere. Maybe we should go to China and Russia, who just want to do business. And we're going to see more of this. We're going to see more countries turn away from the United States if we continue to use economic punishment when we decide that a country isn't living up to our ideals. Again, that's one of my biggest frustrations. We say we want to spread freedom and liberty to the world, except in the last 20 years, we've invaded 5 countries and we've plundered them for their oil, killed millions, yet we're going to lecture other countries about a rules-based order or upholding the ideals of liberal democracy when we break them anytime we feel we need to for our own personal benefit. And so, again, this law in Uganda, very harsh. A matter of fact, I think in some cases, there is the death penalty. And I don't agree with that, although they're talking about things like child molestation and, well, maybe the death penalty is fitting there. But again, in totality, the law is pretty rough, and I don't support it. But we, the United States, need to find a different strategy for dealing with countries where we have disagreements with, other than threatening to sanction them, to harm them. And remember, when you put economic sanctions on a country, you're not just harming the leadership, you're harming everybody. You're harming children, you're harming the elderly, you're harming the entire community. And that's not just for Uganda, that's for every country that the United States places sanctions on. It's a punishment for the people. And over the long haul, they have shown not to really work. In fact, it actually makes the people in those countries go, you know what? Screw the United States. Let's get behind our leaders. It doesn't encourage them to want to change their leadership. It actually reinvigorates their support for their leadership because they look at themselves collectively as victims of the United States. So these sanction strategies, they are a failed strategy. They do not work other than to drive people away from the United States. And right now, we are doing that in spades, not only for our own detriment, but for the detriment of the entire world. And we need to change our strategy. Well, that's it for now. If you are new to the channel, please like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time.